Why do executive leaders die before their time? What traumatizes the relationships of executive leaders? Why do their health go worse as they progress in their career, in their business? Welcome to the CEO strategy. Herein is Gifster Joseph, and I'll be taking us on a very important topic tonight called the executive strategy or the CEO strategy. But before we ride on, I will want to hear from you on the chat box where you are connecting from. Say hi to me and tell me what you want to learn from this particular topic tonight. But before we ride on, I would like to check if we are connected, if we are streaming live, if everybody can hear me. Just give me a minute as I do that. All right. So we are back. So, like I said, my name is Gifster Joseph. I am a veteran executive partner. I have over a decade experience partnering with CEOs, entrepreneurs, founders, business owners, helping them, supporting them in ensuring that they have work-life integration, work-life bliss, work-life balance, and work-life blend. And I want to appreciate you all who registered your attendance in this particular event. I want to say thank you very much for finding out time to learn, unlearn, and relearn on ways you can improve your leadership and become a balanced leader in all ramifications, not just in work. So before I proceed, I have to drop down some things which includes success should not come at the cost of our health, well-being, and relationships. Many of us think that success means when we are succeeding in our career, when we are succeeding in our career, in our work. That is not a definition of success. When you can say someone is a successful leader, the person is successful in career, not just in career, in relationships, not just in relationships, and in health. So the question right now is, why do executive leaders, we might call them CEOs, we might call them founders, entrepreneurs, business owners, why do they go down in health? Why do they lose their relationships? Why is it there is a high rate of divorce when it comes to executive leaders? Why is it that executive leaders die prematurely? That is the reason why we are here tonight. This is going to be a weekly event. We are not going to exhaust everything tonight. This is a weekly event that happens every Wednesday by 8 p.m. So if you're an executive leader out there and you are listening to me, please reserve your spots every Wednesdays by 8 p.m. West African time. Will be here to discuss strategies in which you can improve your health, improve your relationships. All right. So, why am I talking about this topic? I'm talking about this topic because this topic is a passionate topic that led me into the launch of my executive firm. I am from the health background. I am a health practitioner in profession. And I observed that most of the executives that comes to our clinic, or most of our clients that comes to our clinic, 70% of them are executive leaders that are categorized as CEOs, that are categorized as founders of, startup, founders of businesses, business owners, high profile, high tier business owners. And there was something, will I say, a survey or analysis I had to intentionally take on these clients. I noticed that most of them that come to the clinic falls into the category of executive leaders. And most of them have three things in common. Number one is their health. Their health and well-being is traumatized. They go through stress related health issues. Number two, let's not even talk about their health. You notice that there is this relationship fracas, there is this relationship issues when it comes to their marriage, their relationship, and whatever. And the third thing is that their their work life balance is not optimized. Their work life balance is traumatized. Their relationships, their health, and their work life balance. So I noticed also that most of these executives channel their time, their attention to work, for the work to succeed, and they neglect other factors which can help them succeed in their work, which is their health and relationships. So that is the reason why I came up with this saying that success should not come at the cost of our health, well-being, and relationship. Now, you might be thinking that success is when you have a lot of money, a lot of dollars in your account, when you have a lot of revenue, when you have that title as a CEO, when you have acquired that deal. But I want to shock you tonight that success is not all about revenue. It's not all about the title. It's not all about the deals. Success is about thriving in all areas of your life. So when I talk about areas of your life, I talk about your work, not just your work, your health. How is your health, your well-being, and your relationships? That is when I can say you are a successful CEO. You are a successful founder. You are a successful entrepreneur. You are a successful business owner. So success at work means little if you have no one to share with it. If you are a CEO out there and you think your success is when you have gotten all the deals, you have those titles, you have those dollars, those pounds, those euros, rolling into your accounts, and you don't have a loved one, you don't have anyone to share with you in that success, that means you are not a successful person. Success means, or success is complete when you can share it with people. So if you are a leader out there, how I know that you are a balanced leader, or I know that you are a better leader, is when you are balanced in all ramifications, in your health, in your well-being, and in your relationship. I hope we are connected. So for your productivity as a leader to skyrocket, it comes when you have peace at home, when there is peace in your health. So love and connection is one thing to drive your success. When you don't have that balance in your relationships and in your home or in your health, you are not a better leader. Now, I will be diving into the reason why I am so passionate about executive leaders, CEOs, having a work-life bliss. Some people call it work-life balance. I think balance is not a destination. Nobody can reach to that state where we can say someone has achieved balance. When you can say someone has achieved balance, I think the person had to, I don't know, that word is not in existence. As far as we have life, we are in the journey of balance. So we can say that we can have work life integration, we can have work life bliss, we can have work life blend. But as balance, as someone coming out to say, I have a balance, I don't think there is such words. So now the reason why I'm passionate about this, like I said, is that I'm coming from the health background where I see so many executives lose their companies due to ill-health, lose their relationships, lose their marriage due to poor management of their relationship, because they channel all their energy, they channel all their time to work. Now, it results into them burning out, having stress-related illnesses and broken relationships. So they are focused in running their companies. So there is no time for themselves. So we are not even talking about another person relationship. We are not talking about time for their health. And I want to ask, how many executives have time to go on a checkup monthly or annually to know whether they are hypertensive or not, whether they are diabetic or not, whether they have heart issues or not? Recently, last week, I lost an executive leader from my workplace, two of them from different regions. I'm going to tell you what happened. One of them has 6 children, a very high profile executive. And this particular executive went on a extracurricular activity, and before that day, it was reported that this particular executive did not sleep throughout the night. And first of all, he never knew he was hypertensive. This particular person, let me shock you, is a medical practitioner. He never knew he was hypertensive. And he walked throughout the night, and the next morning he went to play football. He has not even entered the pitch. Just about to enter the pitch, he slept and died. So this had to, you know, make me to reflect on how we manage our health as executive leaders. We are talking about that executive leader. The next week, another executive leader died by 2 a.m. And it was reported that she sent a mail. This one is my direct supervisor. She sent a mail 1 a.m. and by 2 a.m. she was declared dead. She had an asthmatic attack and she died. And the thing is that this executive leader was paid a day before she died. The money is sitting pretty in her accounts. Nobody to spend the money, but due to the fact that she didn't prioritize her health, he didn't prioritize his health. So it comes to the question, why the struggle? Why the hustle? Why the pressure? When we as executive leaders, when we as CEOs, we cannot take care of our health. Why the struggle? The money is sitting pretty in her account. Who is going to spend the mother? Who is going to spend the money? Another person who never invested the time she invested. This is a thought of reflection for all executive leaders out there. And that was what I saw as a health practitioner that made me to launch my executive firm to help executive leaders achieve work-life bliss, blend life in their work as they work so that they can live long, to enjoy the income, to enjoy whatever they are driving, whatever is their why for starting their company. And not just enjoying that, to also have people that can enjoy their life with them. So that is my story. So we notice that, please, as I'm talking, please, if you have any question, if you have any comments, drop it on the chat box. If you have anything you want me to clarify, you drop it at the chat box. I will try and be looking through my my LinkedIn to see if there are questions that needs my attention. So I want to say that work-life balance is a work-life balance is or work-life integration is attainable. Like I said, balance is a journey, is not a destination. So it's attainable to have a work-life bliss, and it requires intentional, conscious efforts. And to achieve work-life bliss is not a one size fits all. It's something that is personal. There is no perfection in achieving work-life balance or work-life bliss. It's a constant progress, a progress with self-reflection, adjustment, and persistence in alignment to your priorities. Is something that you have to make flexible, because what is my work-life balance strategy might be different from your own work-life balance strategy. But the thing is that at the end, I and you, we are having a work-life bliss or a work-life blend or a work-life integration. So what is work-life balance? Work-life balance is splitting your time, your energy, or daily striking your time, your energy, your resources to accommodate your work, your personal development, and other aspects. So everything is not all about work, work, work. You go to work, you come back from your home, you are pressing laptop, you are still communicating things about work. No. Other aspects of your life, which includes personal development, your family, your spirituality. So aside work, these are the areas you need to you channel your time, your energy, your resources, your family, your spirituality, your self-care. When we talk about self-care, we talk about exercises. How many CEOs, how many founders find time to have an exercise, fitness goals, go on massages, participate in community activities? Many of us, we just channel our attention just to push our company, ensure that is one of the top. I want to ask you, if you are no more available, you are not alive, the company will still go on. There was one striking thing our CEO said today. He said, even if somebody drops dead now, the job will still continue. The only thing that you will have is a 1 minute silence, and the work will still continue. And that is the reason why you and I have to prioritize our health as we do this work. So work-life balance, as we may say, is a combination of activities that will bring fulfillment and satisfaction, aligning your work and your personal activities to bring fulfillment and satisfaction. We have 24 hours in a day. All your 24 hours, are you going to use it for work? Are you combining activities that incorporates life activities that will bring fulfillment and satisfaction. Work-life balance is allocating time to important things and not neglecting other important aspects of your life at a given time. So you don't have to neglect other aspects of your life because you are working. It is, people lack this aspect of splitting their time. But work-life balance is ensuring there is a combination or a daily striking of balance. So many people hear about work-life balance, many people hear about work-life integration. So what is work-life balance and what is work-life integration? So work-life balance is the separation of your work from your life. So, in other words, once the work is done, life starts. So, if the work is not done, life will not start. You get that? So, it is separation. But what is work life integration? Work life integration is the coexistence, the harmonization of your work and your life. So the way we block out time for that stakeholder meeting that will bring us, so much revenue in our company is the way we are supposed to block out time for that date night, for that dinner with your family members. The same way we block out time for the boardroom meeting with urgency is the same way we should block out time for family activities, for self-development activities, for that fitness goal. So work-life integration is you integrating work with life. So it is not separation. It's not at the end of work you will have time for life. So now you might be asking, which of the strategies should we use? So, like I said earlier, work-life balance is not a one size fits all. It is something that is personal. It's something that you align according to your goals. So if you ask me which one should you choose, whether you should choose work-life balance or you should choose work-life integration, I will tell you, incorporate the two of them in your daily activity. There should be a time where there is separation, where you strike a balance, where you separate work from your life activities. And there is a time to integrate. For example, if your child has a school activity or a school program that comes up by, let's say, 10 a.m. West African time, and you have a board meeting by 2 p.m. West African time. You cannot say because you have a board meeting by 2 p.m. West African time, you will not have time to, because you are at work, you will not have time to go and attend for that school activity that your child has. That is when work-life integration comes in. I hope we are learning. Work-life integration means that, even at the time of your work, you can have time to go for the activity that your child has by 10 a.m. So that is when work-life integration comes in. Then work-life balance is separation, knowing that once is 5:30 West African time, I am not doing any other work. If there is going to be any other work I'm going to do as a CEO, as a founder, I'm going to outsource, I'm going to delegate it for my well-being, for my health, and for my family. So that is where work-life integration and work-life balance comes into play. So integration isn't about 50-50 balance. It's about what works best for your lifestyle. What works for you might not be what works for me. So this night, I will be talking about what causes imbalances. Why do we see imbalance? We might not exhaust this topic because I have a maximum of 45 minutes to talk about this topic. And I will give us 15 minutes to drop our questions and we will answer. So, what are the causes of imbalances when in the life of executives? So, number one is, overcommitment to work and personal obligations. When you are so overcommitted to work, when it's time for you to go to rest, and you don't even find time to rest, it puts pressure on the body. You see, the sickness and diseases that we see in our bodies are mostly stress related issues. They manifest in the form of medical issues. When you see somebody that is hypertensive or somebody that is diabetic, there are stress related issues that is contributing, that causes antibodies, that causes toxins to act, to reflect in form of sickness and diseases. So another causes of imbalance is neglecting self-care and relaxation. We don't prioritize our self-care. We don't prioritize it. We don't relax. We say we are relaxing, but our eyes are on our laptops. Our eyes are on our phones. We are checking that email address. We cannot have a balanced life when we are neglecting self-care. There should be time for your hobbies. There should be time for you to go for that fitness. Those things that make you happy aside work, you should schedule them the way you schedule time for those board meetings. Another causes of imbalance is lack of prioritization. You don't prioritize yourself, you don't prioritize your health. In my language, they say, is it not the person that is alive that will enjoy money? When you don't prioritize your health, how will you enjoy the revenue? If you don't prioritize your relationship, how will people, your loved ones, share in your success? It will be only you enjoying the money. And you know that a money that is not enjoyed by the loved ones is not sweet. I don't know about you out there. So another cause of imbalance is that people don't set boundaries. Executives don't set boundaries. Once it is 5:30 West African time, your close of business, you don't stick to it. You don't stick to those boundaries. You come back home and you are working from home when you are supposed to have time for those things that you love doing, have time for your family. So one of the things I also observe that causes imbalance is pressure to succeed, because you feel this company is outdoing you. So you have that pressure to succeed, to achieve more, thereby pushing yourself beyond limits. Due to intense demand of leadership, you want to push yourself beyond limits, beyond your own body system, beyond your own body functionality. So you have long hours, you spend time, long hours, late night, working over the weekend, the time that your body is supposed to relax. You are, we understand when we talk about elastic limit. When something has gone beyond the limit, that is what is called elastic limit. So the body has elastic limits. Elastic limit is that there is a time when the body have to rest. It's just like your computer processing, always on, processing is always on, operating is always on, doing one thing or the other. There will be a time that computer will overheat and it will not be functional. It will start malfunctioning. That is how our bodies are. Our body malfunctions when we don't have time for rest, when we work long hours, when we work late night, when we are working over the weekend with little time to nurture our health and our relationship. Another cause of imbalance is that I have observed is that is based on some people's personality traits. There are people that their personality trait is people pleasing. They like to please people. They don't know how to say no. No is not a wrong word. So they want to please people. So when you give them this tax, they will say yes. When this stakeholder give them this deal, they say there is always a time when you can, there is always this elastic limit that you can accept when it comes to, projects. You don't have to accept all the project, no matter how juicy, no matter how attractive it is, just for the sanity of yourself and for the sanity of your company. So such people don't know how to say no. There are a category of other people that are they are perfectionists. So those ones, they will not give up until it is perfect. They will not want to leave that job until it is perfect. They don't want to leave that project until it is perfect. They don't want to delegate that task because they feel they are the only one that can do that, that can perform that task. They don't trust people, they don't delegate, they don't outsource. So such people, we call them perfectionism people, perfectionists. So those kind of people also experience imbalance. So if you are someone out there and I am mentioning these causes and you are seeing yourself in this, it is a time for you to reflect. So some other people are other category of people that have this fear of losing out. They don't want to lose that. They are so overcommitted in their work that they don't want to give it out, or they just want to channel their time and attention onto that project. So those categories of people are people that experience imbalance. I can go on and on. Now, there are people, another causes of imbalance are, you know, um, addiction to social media and technology. There are people that they come back from work, and instead of them relaxing, having time with their family, having time, to do all those things they love, their eyes are on social media, on technology. Their eyes are on technology, social media, scrolling up and down. And tomorrow they say they have headache, they have migraine. Are you seeing? Light is always entering. There is a time for you to relax. So this can cause imbalance that will result to sickness and diseases or illnesses. Demanding schedules and struggle to disconnect from work. There is one or two things happening at any point in time, back to back meeting. You don't even that is the reason why most times, executive leaders, they don't know the importance of having an executive assistant. An executive assistant will, plan your schedule in a way that you have this buffer time for yourself. You can have back-to-back meetings, but an executive assistant will have a way of scheduling your meetings in a way that you have buffer time, so that once you are out of this meeting, you have at least 20 to 30 minutes relaxation time before you enter into another meeting. So there are a whole lot causes of, imbalance. But tonight, I am going to be ending tonight with some of the signs of imbalance, so that the next week when we come, we will start looking at solutions on how to solve this. Okay, someone out there is saying I should mention, more of the causes of imbalance. Okay, another cause of imbalance is societal expectation, especially for women executives. Women executives, those that are CEOs, those that are women, females out there that are CEOs, business owners. There is this societal expectation of, managing your home as you manage your career. So these women come back from their executive roles at their workplace, and they come back, instead of relaxing, they go into domestic responsibilities, which can break their body and even cause relationship issues. So these are some of the causes of imbalances that we see out there. So, what can we see in an executive? What can we see in you? And we say that you are experiencing work-life imbalance. What are the signs and symptoms, like us that are in medical field, that are in health field? There are things that we can see on the body of somebody, and we can say the person is suffering malaria, is suffering high BP, is suffering diabetes, is a HIV/AIDS patient. So we call them the signs and symptoms. So what are the signs and symptoms? You see that executive that is always agitated. He's there. We call it, okay, they come under the category of the mental and physical stress. So that executive that is always agitated, that has this anxiety issue, is always worried, is always worried, is suffering depression. So that executive that is always agitated, the person is always agitated, is always tense, always afraid, always, anxious, worried, depressed, irritable. Every small thing sparks him or her. Impatient, short tempered. Are you seeing yourself there? If you are in this category, is a cause for reflection that you are going through work-life imbalance. And if it's not addressed immediately, urgently, it might lead to issues in your health, in your relationship, and in your well-being. So another sign is poor nutrition. You don't feed well because of work. Inadequate sleep. You sleep 2 hours, you sleep 4 hours, and you say CEOs, they don't sleep up to 8 hours or 6 hours. You are suffering your body. A CEO should have an adequate rest, an adequate sleep, so that his mental capacity will be optimal to drive his organization. When you have inadequate sleep, you cannot reason well. Your day, you cannot reason well. You cannot even think well. You cannot strategize well, because the adequate time you are supposed to sleep, you have not given your body that rest. We all out there, we are humans. When we don't sleep well, we see how we feel the next day. And when it becomes a pattern, you know what it can result? It can result to someone waking up and the person slumps. So when you don't have enough exercise, it can result to imbalance. You see those executive, risk of chronic illnesses like obesity. People that are obese, they eat wrongly, they eat anything because they don't have time to eat balanced diet. So they eat junk, and before you know it, they become obese. Diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases. You see, all these things are signs of imbalance. Lack of direction due to you put yourself under stress. You push yourself beyond limits. These are the signs of imbalance. Relationship and family issues. You see yourself, you are succeeding in work, but you're not succeeding in your relation. You're always having issues with your spouse. You always have issues when it comes to relationship with other people. It's a sign of imbalance. You are isolated. You feel lonely. You go through this emotional distress. These are signs of imbalance. You have this overwhelming stress at every point in time. There is this unhealthy obsession with your work. You work long hours, your relationship is being neglected, and you start seeing that at workplace, you start having errors at work. You might not calculate well, you might say the wrong things, you might react the wrong way. These are signs to show that you are having an imbalance of your work and your life. Some of the signs are financial consequences, like you make bad decision in your finances. You are in debt because you cannot even reason well, you cannot think well, you cannot sit down and strategize and think if this actually is meant for you to invest or not. So there is limitation in intellectual growth. So you lack motivation in anything, you are easily distracted, you don't give your focus attention to things, you are always procrastinating, there is always delay when it comes to tasks being given to you. You have this unrest, you are always in boredom, is a cause for concern. There is lack of purpose, you have this feeling of emptiness. Apart from that, your environment, because you are just focused on work, your environment where you stay is littered, you don't have time to keep your environment clean. There's this thing they tell us that cleanliness is next to godliness. And I will also tell you that cleanliness is next to productivity. When your environment is clean, you can think well, you can be productive. So you are dating because you are just focused on your when you see somebody, you come to somebody's home or come to somebody's workspace and it's untidy, is dating, it shows that that person has a work-life imbalance. So there is lack of self-care. You don't even take care of yourself. There is poor performance at work and school. So it stunts your problem solving skills. It is a sign that you have imbalance. There is emotional disconnection, and gaps from your spouse, because you overextend yourself. You don't even have time for your spouse, you don't even have time for your relationship, people that matter in your life. It's always about work, 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 work. Where you are is a sign that you are living an imbalanced life. So you don't even enjoy the money that you are working for, because if you enjoy the money you are working for, you will have time for self-care, you will have time for for massages, you will have time for fitness. So you lack enjoyment. You assume that you are sacrificing yourself, for people, for your loved ones. So that is why you would think you are doing a favor for them, so you look at yourself as a sacrificial lamb. So you have this unfulfilled life, experiences. You miss opportunity because your life is not, organized, because of the imbalance you have brought into your life. So there is professional and personal limitation. You neglect your relationship. There is resentment where your partner is, due to you have constant stress and long hours. So you feel that you are doing a favor to your children, to your spouse. You are the one that is overworking yourself, and it will result because of that. You are agitated, you are irritable, you have short temper, and before you know it, it leads to marital crisis and leads to divorce. And it makes me think, why do executive leaders always experience high level of divorce? Because they spend their time, their energy, their resources in channeling it to work. So finally, one of the signs is that you miss important family moments due to work commitments. So is your anniversary, is your child's birthday, you cannot even have time for that. So your partners and your family feel neglected. You feel that the only thing you owe them is financial security. Once they are financially okay, once they are financially stable, you understand, you are okay. You don't know that there is more to money, there is more to finances, there is more to to the money, the dollars you send to their accounts. That personal time, that memorable time, that time that your family, the shared experience, the laughter and emotional connection is what makes life interesting. It's not even all about the money. And that's why you see, most times you see CEOs, they say they provide everything for their partners. Their partners the type of cars they want, they give it to them, the type of houses, the money they want, but they keep on asking, what do you want? What do you want from me when I provide all these things for you? But you don't know that those shared experiences, those laughter is what makes life interesting, is what makes, family what it is, why it is called family. So I don't know whether you found yourself in most of the things that I have mentioned here tonight. Some of the signs that I have mentioned here tonight, if you see yourself being mentioned in any of these, know that you are living a life that is not balanced, and there is room for integration, there is room to enjoy bliss. And that is what we'll be looking at in our next event on Wednesday, the same time, here live on LinkedIn, on how we can integrate our life, how we can integrate our work, how we can blend our work and our life together so that our families are not neglected, so that our health and well-being is not neglected. And at the end, we drive productivity, we enjoy the revenue that comes from our company. And not just that, our family is thriving. We are not just better leaders at work, but we are better leaders in our homes. We are better leaders when it comes to managing our body. We are managers of our body, because this our body is not yours, it was being given to us by God. So if you don't manage the body well, the spirit in the body will leave and the body will decay. So it is our responsibilities as CEOs, as business owners, as founders, to take care of our health, because once we take care of our health, we can enjoy our money, we can enjoy the revenue, we can enjoy our company that we are striving for daily, and we can also have a harmonious and thriving family. I think that is where I will end tonight. So next week we'll be diving on strategies where we can blend in work, our life into work. How can we blend it? How can we delegate, or what can we do when even our work is going on after the close of business? What can we do? How can we do it? How can we delegate? How can we outsource? How can we make our work to run as we are having time for our family, as we are having time for all those things that we love doing? So I'll be going through the chat box to check some of the questions that are being sent in the chat box. So if there are questions, okay, somebody is watching from Cameroon. Hi, Alice. So if there are questions, you can drop it here so that I can answer. I can provide clarification on your questions. Remember that we'll be coming back here next week. And I also want to say that I have a free consultation um free consultation call that I have with executive leaders who will want to know how to integrate their life into their work, who will want to, have a work life bliss. I'm going to be sending the link on in the chat box, so that, and also is on my featured page, so that if you want us to discuss on how I can help you and how I and my team can help you to achieve work life bliss, then you reach out to me on that. So I don't know if there are any questions. If there are any questions from the chat box, if there is no questions, um, it will be a time to say good night. So let me give us in the next 3 minutes to see if there are questions we can answer. Just drop it there as I look through some of my softwares. Okay, so I don't think I can see any question, but if you have any question, come to my DM, reach out to me on my DM, drop it on the comment section. I'll be answering all those questions. And remember that I said I run a free consultation call for executive leaders who want to improve in their work life balance or work life bliss or work life integration strategies. So that will be all for us tonight. See you next time, next week at the same time. Cheers.